If you could create a dream scenario for the perfect car out there, what is it that you think in this industry needs to be disrupted?
Well, I think Apple has a great opportunity if they were to dive into this space. To me, if you're looking at an ideal vehicle, I think to me it's got to be something that is relatively affordable. It's got to have mass market appeal. When I say relatively affordable, I'm thinking $30,000 to $35,000. I'm thinking electric. I'm thinking autonomous capabilities when the law gets in place so that it's easy to just plug and play and go. And I'm thinking that it seamlessly integrates the digital world with the physical world, and that when I walk in my car, I don't have to do anything. It's simple. It's seamless. Syncs with my phone. And I'm still in my Apple
car connectivity.
ecosystem.
I mean, that's what we've been talking about a lot lately, and was the theme recently out in Vegas. But 30 to 35K, I don't know. I mean, Cory, this is a company that seemingly has been more and more and more identified with luxury. So why would they want to go for the lower end of the car market?
I don't think that they would. I mean, you'd love to sell it for $35,000 if you could. Look, Elon Musk would love to make a $65,000 car.
I would like to buy it for
can't.
$30,000.
That's right. Maybe used. Look, it's a fascinating story, and you love that Apple can throw such huge resources at a project like this. It's very Apple-like of them, at least, to be able to explore something in such great depth and with such fearlessness. But the auto industry has got a lot of smart people throwing a lot of money at a lot of big ideas. The electric car is just one of them that has vexed the industry for a long time. And you know, what Tesla's doing, what the Volt is doing, you know, I think one of the things that we can see running through all the decisions Apple's making about product these days is they're very focused on the way that they express their brand. They want you to have a certain experience when you go into the store such that you think Apple stuff is awesome. It's not just about customer service, right? I mean, Walmart would argue that they have great customer service too. They bring a certain message to their consumer of low prices all the time.
Right? I mean, it is a different message, but it's a message.
Exactly. But then their message is high-end luxury. This is great.
Right.
And if you look at what their experience was in China, where everyone told them you've got to be cheaper, you've got to have a different product. The Chinese people are not going to pay $600 for a phone. Then they go in there and they have their biggest quarter ever with the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus.
So in other words, long story short, Alec, as much as we'd all like it to be $30,000 to $35,000, we may be out of luck if they want to stay true to their luxury brand. But let's move on to, you know, if you're going to do this, and you get all the cash on hand that Apple does, why not go out and buy some other technology? Why not, say, buy Tesla? I mean, you got to get Elon on board with that, but or another company that's active in this space. Why do you have to do it yourself? Alec.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely opportunities to get out there and partner with or purchase a company like a Tesla, or even to look at the remains of what's out there with Fisker, although their parts have been picked up. I mean, there's obviously a lot of folks that have invested a lot of time, resources, and energy into this space, but knowing Apple and knowing that they want to control the product, they want to control the design from top to bottom, I don't see Apple as a company necessarily that's willing to take an existing platform, slap their logo on it, and call it in their own. I mean, I think you look at the iPhone, you look at the iPod, they reinvented spaces in which they didn't participate at all previously from a design perspective, from the bottom up, and I would see them doing the same in the auto space if they were to choose to go down this path.
Cory, Apple is such a product-driven company, but you know there's a difference between building a mechanism to listen to music on or a phone and building a car. I mean, this is uncharted territory. My question is this driving the company out of its ecosystem? And if so, is there anything wrong with that? Maybe this is exactly what Apple needs to do because it's gotten out of its ecosystem before and really proved to be pretty phenomenal.
I mean, a system crash takes on a whole different level of importance when you're driving a vehicle. So, you know, there are some things that are importantly different about this. And as I mentioned, the competition, you know, GM's no joke, Audi's no joke, Ford is a technological wonder. And the production difficulties as well, where Apple's been able to outsource their production really for the last 30 years, or at least a good 20 plus. That would not be the case here. So they're up against some very different challenges than they would have faced in the past if they're thinking about manufacturing cars. But it's also true that the computing experience that happens on the phone, and to a lesser degree on the iPad, maybe on the watch as well, directly interacts with what's happening in a car. So Apple's not unfamiliar with what's going on in the car, and has been slowly making some investments there in the world of maps and the world of connectivity. So it's not completely virgin territory for them. But in terms of buying something like Tesla, I mean, what do you get if you buy Tesla? You're buying
the engineers. I mean, to your point, maybe they can just build that on their own, which it's, we're certainly seeing, or it's suggesting the environment right now that they're going to, in fact, try and do that. Let me
and they're
finally
already hiring
go
those guys from Tesla. Yeah.
What'd you say?
They're already hiring people from Tesla like crazy. I mean, why $25 billion to buy Tesla when all you want are 50 engineers? I don't think
you can just go and acquire the engineers. But why build the hardware in the first place, Alec? I mean, why not just say, we're going to focus on software. We will be the software that's in every car going forward. Why do you need to build the body of the car as well?
Well, I think for Apple, you really don't. I mean, I think a smart play for Apple is to establish the foundation for the infotainment space and to extend what they've already done with CarPlay. I mean, I think the big frustration that most folks run into is that we're so integrated into our digital lives when we're using our smartphones, our tablets, your computer, and you walk into your car and you're now working with hardware, you're now working with a UI that was designed by an auto manufacturer. And to be frank, I mean, when I'm jumping into a car, and granted, we've made some progress with CarPlay and with Android's approach in car, but ultimately, I want something that feels like I'm using my phone. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to get into a car, I want to plug in my phone and just have it work. I'd rather have an app built by Ford to run on my smartphone than Ford to design a new system that I can run with. Now, granted, Ford's partnered with Microsoft and they've done some great things with Sync, but I want that seamless integration. I just want to walk into a car and have it work.